guys may flum here, and I don't know about you, but I have all kinds of holiday themed papers, and usually I buy a little more than I need for, say, my scrapbooks and my cards. So my Scan and Cut is going to help me deck the halls so quickly, so easily. Now there are a lot of patterns in here in the basics. Oh, all kinds of things, from if you wanted to, say, do scalloped circles, maybe cut them in half or fold them in half for kind of a doily look. If you want hearts or stars that you want to string along a thin ribbon or even just thread, that works great as well. I'm going back up in here to this particular one. This is a personal favorite for banners. I'm going to move it into the middle, and the reason I'm moving it in the middle is so that I can rotate it, because I want it to be a certain direction. And it's always good to remember when you're working on banners, you may want a certain direction here. Now here's a tip for you. You see this button right here? If I push this button and then work on the height, it will make my banner taller, or my shape, whatever that is, but it's not making it wider. So if you have that button pressed, look at that. I can change the proportions or the aspects. So if you have, say, a rectangle or other basic shapes where you want it to be going a certain way, you can have that. Of course, if you do not have that button pressed, then guess what? It's just going to do both width and height. So I'm making that a little thinner. Now when I create banners, I like to do different sizes. I like to mix it up, so some are bigger, some are smaller, but you know what? It's really all up to you. Now what I am going to do is I am going to add in here some words. I am going to put the word joy, and I'm going to use this font right here, and I'm only adding one letter at a time, and I'm just making it tiny because what I like to do is put it in here and then look at the width. So I like to play with finding out what size would look best. And I'm just kind of making a note this is about 4.2. And I'm going to go in here once again and add, this time, the letter O. And again, we're just going to pull it up here. And again, it was about 4 inches high, a little over 4 inches high. So I'm just going to kind of try to keep about the same there. And they don't have to be in the exact same position, but I will kind of look and make sure it feels pretty centered. Once I'm happy with that, I just say okay and cut. Now once that is done cutting, what I like to do is go back, and we're going to go into this screen right here, and we're going to trash both letters. And I'm going to trash one of the banners. And the reason is I only want 3 for this particular one. If you were going to keep doing full sheets of paper, you would continue on as many as you wanted. And then I can go in here and add, because I still need the letter Y. And I'm just repeating this process. It's so super easy. And you could do shapes in here. You could do whatever you liked in here. So I'm going to keep with that same height just to keep things consistent. And then center that up and take a look at it. It looks pretty good just as it is. Say okay and cut. Now depending on your pattern papers and your supplies on hand, of course, you can now back your banner pieces with contrasting papers. You can layer them up. We could add little embellishments on the top, and we can hang them. Now to hang your banners, it's up to you, and again, it depends on what you have in your stash. You've got options. You could use a piece of ribbon and use a brad or even an eyelet or perhaps a staple, and just staple your string, your ribbon, whatever it is that you happen to be using. For example, I'm thinking about using this totally fluffy white stuff. So I could stitch it, I could staple it at the corners, I could have it in front, I could have it behind, but the basics are there. It's so easy to do. It doesn't take much time. You're using up your stash. You can save this stuff. You can use all the pieces however you like, and it really adds a lot to your decor for not a lot of money. So that's just one way the Scan and Cut is helping me speed things along by making more banners. I'm going to show you a couple of pictures of banners here around my home. I hope you've enjoyed this quick little video, and I wish you very happy holidays.